It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and as promised, I am going to put together a shade arrangement for your viewing pleasure. It has been hot, 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 repeat, rinse, repeat for, I don't even know, this is the second week of 90 plus degree temps. I know many of you can commiserate, and I know many of you have experienced much hotter weather than I have, and for that you have my deepest sympathies. But I thought it would be fun to put together a shade arrangement because two reasons. I don't want to go out and start messing in the yard at this time of year, and I don't want to encourage you to do that either. We just need to leave things alone, don't we? But here in the shade, this gets no direct sun whatsoever. And I'm sure you have pockets or areas of your garden that are the same. There's no reason why you can't put together some things that'll thrive in the shade. So that's the idea here by the front door. I stopped at Waterwise Botanicals after my Temecula consultation, which went really well, BTW, and I'm eager for you to learn more about that upcoming project. But I stopped at Waterwise and I bought this beautiful glazed ceramic pot. I want to carry the theme of the front into the back. I'm not going to go full on coral reef out front, but I want there to be suggestions. So I've used a lot of blue, as you know, as accent in the back. So I thought a blue pot out here in the front would be the way to go. I bought this Sanseviera at Waterwise about 3 weeks ago when I was collecting all of the plants for the coral reef. So I just loved I love the height on this one. This is a plant that my mother used to call mother-in-law's tongue. And this was a house plant that she had sitting on the buffet in our home my childhood home for as long as I can remember. So it works good inside. It also works great in the shade. And that's what I'm doing here. So we're going to start with the Sanseviera as our thriller. And I'm going to plant it pretty far back into the corner because this is not a 360 degree installation. This is about a 180, meaning nobody's looking at it from the back. This arrangement does have a legitimate butt, and I am going to embrace that. I backfilled this pot with a basically leftover canned soil. So it's got a lot of fertilizer in it, slow release. That's the little blue or green pellets that you see in your soil for your nursery plants. And it's got some perlite or pumice or something else in it. So, it's excellent soil. This is what all of my succulent plants came packaged in, so I thought it would be good to use in this blue pot. I never throw away soil. I always store it and stash it for use at other times. Okay, so there we have our thriller, the Sanseviera. Fantastic. Then while at Waterwise, I also bought a bromeliad. If you haven't shopped bromeliads at Waterwise, you are missing out. Tom Jesh, the general manager there, is passionate about his broms, and they are absolutely stunning, and he has hybridized them to grow well in the landscape. So I've been using Tom's broms for years and just love them. Now remember, with bromeliads, these like to be watered in their cups. And that is no problem here at the front door. Obviously, I'm going to hand water this arrangement. So I will keep up with that. No worries. I'm going to pack these in right here next to the bromeliad. Oh gosh, that's so pretty, ain't it? Loving it. Okay, so that is a thriller slash filler. But I consider that my filler. I'm going to pop in just a little more potting mix around the edges. It's important to pack your potting mix down really well in your pots too. is just pack it down as hard as you can. You can also fill, if you're doing a succulent arrangement, there's no reason why you can't fill a good 50% of the pot with non-decompostable materials like packing peanuts or plastic bottles, rocks, you know, whatever you've got if you want to save on soil. Also, if you have tall cylindrical pots and you're concerned about them blowing over in the wind, filling your pots halfway up with rock is a really, really great idea for weight. Okay, what else have I got here to pop in? I also bought a tradescantia from Waterwise. I absolutely love this plant. It's really beautiful in the hotter months in the summer. It grows like crazy. It can get out of hand, can't it? I'm sure some of you have it, and it's the bane of your existence. But here, contained in this little pot, you know, I just feel like the purple color is a must. So I'm going to stick this. I'm going to take off. The reason why I'm knocking off so much of the soil is because I want to pack a lot of plants in here, and the soil can take up a lot of space. I'm not harming the plant whatsoever, but look at, now I can cram it in here, right in there, and I can get something next to it as well. So I did purchase also for my backyard installation something that I found that was new at Waterwise. This is a senecio hybrid. It's called Raindrops. So this is string of pearl like, but it's tougher and hardier than string of pearls, and hopefully isn't going to require as much water. So I'm going to trial this plant and see if I like it. String or senecio Raindrops. Okay, this is my spiller. So I'm going to pop it in here right next to the tradescantia. And we'll just hope that that continues to cascade down the side of the pot, because more is more with me, always. I've got another one to pop in over on the other side. Okay, get this one in over here. All right. Now I still have some gaps to fill, don't I? So I did pull out some cuttings from my stash of things that I think are going to do well here in the shade. We'll see how it goes. I just want to make sure that I've done a sufficient job of my backfilling. So I'm using that tradescantia soil. Get in around my bromeliad. You know, these covered pots are really great too for those of you followers in Florida and other areas where you get copious amounts of summer rain, because you can protect them, of course, from rainfall. Okay. So because I typically forget to mention this at the end of a video, I'm going to water this arrangement probably lightly, gently, about once a week, because I want to keep it going, and because this is in a pot and it's very well draining and it's not going to receive even the remotest bit of stress, I can totally pull that off. Okay. And remember, if you have any questions, if there's anything I've glossed over, or if I've confused you in any way, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments. And if I don't catch your comment, one of our fantastic family of followers will, and give you the answer that you desire. Okay. All right, so I've still got some gaps. I pulled a few aeoniums from the front yard of the hopscotch house, and they've been hibernating over on the other side of our property in the shade. And I was inspired by this one in the pot head. and how well it is done. It's been here since we moved in. And the aeonium looks really good. So I thought, why not? Let's try some in this Sanseviera arrangement as well. Here's one that's a bit stemmy. So I will pack that in here amongst the Sanseviera. I kind of want the pretty part facing front though. I can pull it off. Can't. You get the idea. Okay, that works. And then a third. This one is going to be too tall, so let's make that shorter. Take my handy dandy multi-tool, open up a space. I'm actually cutting down into the senecio and popping it right in to the middle of that plant. So now what I'm going to have is I'm going to have aeonium and senecio. I'm going to have senecio growing out from the side of the aeonium. It just makes it, you know, it makes it feel like the pot has been here forever and that it's not just a fresh new baby planting. Okay, so there are my 3 elements of aeonium. I also pulled some Fred Ives. You know, you guys were concerned about the Fred Ives because I always went on and on about them in Chula Vista, but I did bring quite a few with me, so we're in good shape. I probably have 10 Fred Ives from the Chula Vista yard. Now, I don't know about this here. Let's just try it and see how we feel. Oh, yeah, I like that. Okay. Now, this Fred Ives, it's in the head pot. You know, is it etiolating? Is it pulling and reaching for the light? You know, not really. I mean, this basically looked leggy like this when I brought her over. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, if these do start to stretch and lose their shape, I will absolutely replace them with something else. But I do want to give that a go. So there you have it. I actually have some dirt showing here in the back, but I don't want to plant anything back there because that seems mean. You know, there's not going to be a lot of air circulation in that back corner, and I think anything I put there is going to struggle. So what I'll do is I will top dress this back corner with a little bit of that La Paz, tiny little La Paz pebble that I used in the coral reef in the back, and we'll just call it a day. But yeah, what do you think? I love that. You know, I think for me, the combo of the Sanseviera and the bromeliad is what makes it so special. And the aeoniums are just a you know, reminder of home, of Chula Vista. The tradescantia, this, you know, that I planted in the back, I'm going to allow this, you know, this purple plant to kind of weave up and work its way through. I will keep it contained, and if it becomes too much, I'll get rid of it, but I'd like to give this a chance to flourish here. I think the purple is just really dynamite. And then, of course, I bring that purple back in the Fred Ives. So it'll be fun to keep checking in on this one, right, on Walkabout Wednesdays, and see how my full shade pot is faring. I'll also be staging the pot head, and I have this little, this gorgeous crest that I also want to protect and keep from stressing. So I've got it out here too. I just don't know if I'm going to leave it in that red pot or if I will transfer it to something else, because I feel like I'm not feeling the red, you know, at all. So that'll be to be determined, and we'll work that out together in another video. So take care. Stay cool. Tomorrow here in the land of milk and honey, we're supposed to get some relief from this heat, and I hope that wherever you live in the world, you're getting some relief from it too. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your shady succulent pot and your succulent tip of the day. Bye, guys.